Breaking news here at Third Eye Global. There is a Christian genocide happening in Africa. Bet you didn't know that. Or maybe you did, because you're tapped in. We're going to be talking about it. We're going to be covering it. We're going to be learning today. Where and what is happening? The violence is concentrated in several countries, driven by Islamist extremists, exploiting instability, but it spans a broader pattern across 28 of Africa's 54 nations. Key hotspots include Nigeria, which is where today's story is from, as well as Mozambique, where there are over 30 alleged beheaded Christians. It's not looking good. See, the problem with this is mainstream media is not covering it at all. Perhaps they haven't gotten the patch update. Maybe there's bigger fish to fry. Israel, Gaza, Russia, Ukraine. Nobody's even talking about Sudan. But in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, as well as Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and Ethiopia, Christians are getting killed on a daily basis. And who's killing them? Militant, radical, Islamic terrorists. Primarily rural Christian communities, including ethnic groups like the Igbo, Tiv, and Barome in Nigeria's Middle Belt, indigenous farmers seen as obstacles to Islamist expansion, and victims include entire villages, clergy, where over 145 priests were kidnapped, women, children raped and enslaved, and converts from Islam. Moderate Muslims are also hit, but Christians are disproportionately targeted. For example, 9 out of 10 faith-based killings in Nigeria. Why is this happening? The violence stems from a mix of ideological, economic, and environmental factors, but religious intent is explicit. Islamist jihad. Whoa. I thought this was a religion of peace. But now I'm missing my fucking head. Many such cases. Now, if you were to plot on a graph of how radicalized I am with this in particular, I'm off the charts. There's no going back. I am in the Mariana Trench when it comes to radical Islamic terrorist attacks. See, oftentimes we talk about countries' borders, multiculturalism, theocracies. One fact remains. There is one religion whose job it is to submit other people and subject them, and that would happen to be Islam. Don't even get me started. Look up the Janissaries. Look up all throughout history how Christians and even Jews in many cases were treated as second-class citizens, had to pay the jizya, the tax. Coverage exists sporadically. Some call it a genocide attempt, worse than Gaza, but it's far less than other crises. Either way, it's happening. I just don't think there's much coverage coming out of Africa. Logistics and risk. Remote, dangerous areas, North Kivu jungles, make reporting costly and perilous. No embedded access like in Ukraine. There's a geopolitical bias because it lacks Western stakes like oil and alliances compared to Ukraine or the Middle East. African stories face fatigue after Rwanda and Darfur. Some allege anti-Christian Western media downplays Islamist perpetrators to avoid Islamophobia accusations, which is a bunch of fucking horseshit. That's Islamophobic. Dude, you can't say that. Oh, so you just hate Muslims, bro? I'm done with that retardation. And I think you should be too, if you have a brain between your two ears. If we scroll down here, we'd see various pictures. ISMP, which I will get the proper definition for you. What is the ISMP? It's an abbreviation for an Islamic radical terrorist group. The Islamic State of Mozambique Province is an affiliate of the Islamic State, or ISIS, terrorist organization operating primarily in northern Mozambique, particularly in Cabo Delgado and Nampula provinces. They emerged in 2019 when local jihadist insurgents, initially inspired by groups like Al-Shabaab, pledged allegiance to ISIS. It has conducted brutal attacks, including beheadings, shootings, and arson targeting Christian civilians, churches, schools, and villages. These actions aim to establish an Islamic caliphate in the region, often framed by the group as targeting unbelievers and consolidating control over resource-rich areas amid local poverty and grievances. Anytime you talk to a midwit about Abrahamic religions and the pros and cons of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, depending on how base they are, they may come at you with some different facts. The brutal reality is Christians are not conquering in modern times. The Vatican hung that shit up, said we had a good run. This, on the other hand, unacceptable. The group's violence has displaced over 1 million people, fueled a humanitarian crisis, and drawn international military responses from Rwanda and the Southern African Development Community. It's designated as a terrorist entity by the UN and countries like the US. You see, that designation doesn't really do anything at all. Antifa was just made a terrorist organization, but they're still allowed to cause chaos. As you can see here, they are burning what seems to be villages, churches, shooting off guns, seems to be dead people. Gonna have to blur all of this. This is their weapons cache. It's great. Now we have a video by Patrick Bet David, because he seems to be one of the only ones actually bringing this story to light.
If you turn on primetime news, you're probably going to hear about what's going on with Ukraine.
On Ukrainian city of Dnipro.
Ukraine has come under heavy bombardment from Russia.
Or what's going on with Gaza.
But in Gaza.
For Gaza.
Gaza.
But you're probably going to hear nothing about the fact that one country has executed more persecutions towards Christians than any other countries around the world combined, and that's Nigeria.
Saw this video, absolutely horrific. Those are gunshots going off and people fleeing for their fucking lives before they get raped and killed and beheaded.
Just this year, 7,087 Christians have been killed, beheaded in many instances this year, just for going to church. Today we're going to talk about the events that are taking place in Nigeria targeted towards Christians.
Production values there, I'm going to give it to him. Patrick Bet David may have ran an MLM, but this is based. He's using his media company for good.
If you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. So watch this. If you're watching this, and we know mainstream media is not going to be talking about this a lot with other people, you want to get more exposure to it, share with other people. Let me tell you why. Since 2009 till today, 125,000 Christians have been killed in Nigeria, according to the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law. By the way, when you're looking at the surge, 7,087.
I thought this was supposed to be a religion of peace. Inshallah, brother. What's going on here?
Just this year in the first 220 days, that's 35 a day. 7,800 abducted. They disappeared. Can't find them anymore. 19,100 churches have been destroyed. Imagine you going to church. Imagine on Sunday, you just don't take your kids to church. All you want to do is go pray, maybe, sing a little bit, worship music, listen to the pastor, the preacher, what they have to say, the priest. 19,100 churches have been destroyed. By the way, 10,000 schools have been destroyed that are teaching.
MashaAllah, I just need to burn your church real quick. It's so fucked. And I'm so tired of the hypocrisy. I'm at my wit's end. And that's Islamophobic. Shut the fuck up. That's where I'm at.
Christian theology to kids.
How old was Aisha?
Values that they have. And in Nigeria, specific areas they're being targeted. And now who is doing the target?
She was 6, by the way, and they consummated the marriage at 9. I'm gonna ult. Oh, I'm gonna ult.
Getting to these Christian communities, these Catholic churches. Many of these guys that are jihadists, one of the leaders being Boko Haram since 2009, later splintering into ISIS West Africa province, the ISWAP and Ansaru, conducting mass killing, forcing conversions, and abductions. And you're seeing this in the news. I'm going to put a picture here for you to see on what's going on. This is what they look like. They're just going around targeting Christians, burning homes, seizing land, destroying harvest, sexual violence. And the way they're going about doing it is they're going at night when you're asleep, night assaults on villages, church seizures and burnings.
This is what's happening. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Mass kidnapping, land grab, creating no-go zones for Christian natives. And families are sitting there saying, what do I do?
It isn't Islamophobia if they practice Christianophobia. So true.
I just want to go to church. I can't. You saw service with everything that's going on. I mean, we get the challenge with our faith a lot of times. How strong is our faith? Is our faith as strong as this guy? They're still in church. They're still there praying. They're still singing to worship music, even though all this stuff's going on. You hear guys talking about, they killed my family. They killed my parents. They burned my house down. They burned my relative's house down. They burned my kid's house.
If your religion sentences you to death for apostasy, you might have a problem.
House down. All I have left is this shirt I'm wearing. Here's what the fellow is talking about. I want you to watch these two clips. One of them is them still going to church on a Sunday, and one of them talking about what happened to him and his family.
My family members, they died in this house.
If your religion treats women like cattle, you might have a problem.
11, and some died in the other stores. Here and up my house.
You see, what's so frustrating about this is that if you bring this up in the West around midwit retards, they'll oftentimes bring up the Crusades. Yeah, you want to talk about the Crusades? I'm rocking in my chair. I'm waiting for someone to bring up the Crusades. Do it, you won't. You want to bring up the Barbary pirates, the Corsairs in the Mediterranean, Thomas Jefferson? There's a bunch of red threads in my brain connecting to all of the counter arguments. It's because the Red-Green Alliance, modern leftists in the West, in America, in the UK, have this suicidal empathy, this collective guilt that is going to get everyone murdered because they hate the West. It's the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Queers for Hamas. You're getting thrown off a fucking roof. You're getting stoned.
Up there. That place also is burned. And the store where I pack my goods, I store my goods everywhere, has burned. They burned my clothes, they burned everything, they burned our food, all my family members, what we kept out with is our food.
You know, the criticism that a lot of mainstream media gets is, what's the purpose of me showing this? It's just Christians. I mean, it's just Christians, but we have to show anything else to raise the temperature and make sure people are angry and go out there protesting. Free Palestine, that's what we need. We need rage. Christians, give me a break. You know, if you're going to go out there and kill 49 Christians in Democratic Republic of Congo that were killed by machetes, not a big story, right? We shouldn't share this if we're mainstream media. Some victims are beheaded and burned, but I mean, we don't need to really talk about it a lot because...
See, a lot of people don't understand that Islam was created to unite the Arabic world. It came out of the Arabian Peninsula and literally was designed to conquer nations via jihad. Submit or die, convert or get killed. That's why they took Christian slaves. Most people don't know that all of North Africa, Egypt, Lebanon, Syria, Algeria, Portugal, Spain, I could go on, all got conquered. And what are we supposed to do? What was Europe supposed to do? Roll over? Die? No. Charles the Hammer came in, put a stop to that shit real quick with the Reconquista.
It's just Christians. We need to really get into the story. And then hear stories that's going on in Canada. You got Justin Trudeau, 112 churches burned in Canada, Catholic churches. And Justin Trudeau, former prime minister, gets up there and says, well, I understand their rage. I mean, you have to watch this to believe what the former leader of Canada had to say about all the church burnings that was going on in Canada. Here's Justin Trudeau for you.
Acts of vandalism and arson are being seen across the country, including against Catholic churches. One of my reflections.
Here you go. Turkey, Anatolia, Asia Minor, Greece, Balkans, Thrace, Western Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Israel, Palestine, Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, Libya, Morocco, Eastern Turkey, parts of Armenia, Western Georgia, Southern Syria, Jordan. All Chalcedonian before Islamic expansion, but no.
Is I understand the anger that's out there against institutions like the Catholic Church. It is real and it is fully understandable.
And by the way, I got a list of other places to read. The only reason I'm showing you just
regions like the Coptic Church in Egypt, Syriac Jacobite Church in Eastern Syria, Mesopotamia, Armenian Apostolic Church and Kingdom of Aksum or Ethiopia were non-Chalcedonian and thus not included. Remember, Christianity as we know it, like you could say these countries were previously Christian because they believed in Christ, sure, but Christianity as we know it didn't happen until the schism where you had the Roman Catholics and the Eastern Roman Empire, Orthodoxy. Before that, they were what we would call or classify as Chalcedonian. Chalcedonian refers to the doctrine affirmed at the Council of Chalcedon in 451 AD, stating that Jesus Christ is one with two distinct natures. So this is when it started to take its form. These countries were all historically Christian before they were forced to convert.
Some Trudeau's because it's not just happening in Africa or Syria and all the, it's happening in the West as well. We can tell you some of the stuff that's going on in Arizona that happened recently. This has taken place, and so a lot of Christians are saying, hey, what do we do about this? Do we just sit around and not do anything? What can we do about this? Some are saying, hey, well, that's why we need a crusade. There's a spiritual warfare going on. That's what we need right now. We need to get louder. Some are saying mainstream media should talk about it. Well, if they're not, we should talk about it. We will. Some are saying, well, maybe Christians are not understanding the whole concept of tolerance. We should be tolerant. We should be tolerant. Well, if there's an example of a guy that wasn't tolerant, it was Jesus. This concept of being tolerant towards who? Towards everybody, allowing all this stuff to happen? I used to pray for 4 things for many years. 20 years I was praying for courage, wisdom, tolerance, understanding. I told my kids, we're not praying for tolerance anymore. If someone's pushing the envelope, make some noise, do something about it, right? We're seeing all this stuff that's happening over here. God forbid if something happens to, Muslim or a different denomination or Jews, everybody wants to talk about it.
It's true. Perhaps Christianity has been splintered into a million different pieces. Blame Protestantism, blame the schism, blame the demasculinization of the church. The Pope is really just a figurehead. He's like blessing ice or some shit. For climate change. You guys see that? Back in the day, Pope Urban II said, no. I'm assembling a squad of holy crusaders, paladins of the light. Take arms, defend your faith.
Oh my God, you won't believe what happened. How about Christians? Do they have a valid argument here that people are making? I think they do. But there's maybe not a business model in trying to help Christians out. Maybe there isn't. Maybe Christians who are sitting around right now and we're seeing everybody wearing a Ukraine pin, which, by the way, to people that believe in that, I support the fact that you do. How many of you guys are wearing a Nigeria pin right now with the Christians over there that are going through what's going on to them? Who's wearing that? When's the last time you wore that? Are you really sporting it? Maybe you're Christian yourself. Are you? I don't know. All I'm saying is, it's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate that nobody cares about Africa.
That mainstream media that's not talking about these types of stories.
It's unfortunate that Christianity is inherently cocked.
Definitely will. When you're sitting out looking at the countries with the most Christians in it, at the top is U.S., then you have Brazil, then Mexico, then Nigeria is at the 4th place with most Christians. You think some people like them being there? Maybe not. We're seeing what's going on with UK. We're seeing what's going on with immigration. We're seeing what's going on with, you should just let anybody into your country. Who cares if you lose your national value? Who cares if people are in your country who hate you? It's okay. That's part of freedom of speech. Really? Yeah, it's okay. Today I was looking at 2 things. You know what countries Bibles are illegal to buy and sell? Go try buying a Bible in Iran. See what happens to you. By the way, go try buying a Bible in Iran in Farsi. You won't find it. Only the people that are Assyrians and Armenians can have Bibles in Iran, but you can't put it in Farsi and distribute it. That's illegal. Go to Saudi Arabia and see if you can sell a Bible in Saudi Arabia.
Can't do that. And notice how immigration is only going one way. Or should I call it migration or an invasion? You never see Christians going to Muslim majority countries. Shit. Of the 56 Muslim countries, they're not even taking Palestinian refugees.
Arabic, because that's a form of, conversion. You're trying to get people converted into Christianity. In America, we're like, it's okay. Sell it on Amazon, Quran, whatever you want to sell. Go sell it. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech. Maybe there's a place for it, but at the same time, those other countries don't want Christians to be growing. And we're like, yeah, but it's their country. They get to create their laws. But in America, it's like, no. We're okay with everything that happens here. Maybe not. But I believe there needs to be more of a discussion here with this and more of a topic and more of a debate. And we're not having enough of it right now. There are so many other debates that have 99% of Twitter, X, YouTube, everywhere. How many debates about this topic? Maybe not enough. Maybe we need to get a little bit louder. And
X is aware of it. I'll tell you that.
Maybe if you're watching this right now saying, honestly, I didn't know about that with Saudi Arabia. I didn't know that about Iran. Go ChatGPT it. Go look it up for yourself. Do you think they should be selling Bibles? Why?
No, you cannot legally sell Bibles in Saudi Arabia. The country's laws, based on Sharia, or Islamic law, as interpreted under the Hanbali school, strictly prohibit the public distribution, sale, or proselytizing of non-Muslim religious texts. This is what we call theocracy. This is what we call a tyrannical system. There's no freedoms. Meanwhile, you have comedians taking that sweet, sweet, bloody oil money. No problem. Oh, it's actually a great country. Oh, the Middle East is actually awesome. Spineless fucking losers. Can you sell a Bible or practice Christianity in any Muslim majority country? So it depends on where you are. No-fly zone with Christianity. It's going to be Saudi Arabia, Iran, Afghanistan, Somalia. Many Muslim majority countries were Chalcedonian Christian before the Islamic expansion in 7th and 8th centuries, including Syria, Egypt, North Africa, Byzantine provinces. After conquests, Christians became dhimmis, or protected minorities under Islamic rule. With varying degrees of freedom. Today's restrictions often stem from interpretations of Sharia that prioritize Islam's dominance, though historical tolerance allowed Christian communities to survive. Yeah, you guys can exist on the fucking outskirts of town. Don't forget to pay us the jizya.
Why don't they? Why are we allowing everybody? Are we a little bit too tolerant in America? I don't know. It's a good question to ask, and you can answer it for yourself. I don't know where you're going with this. Are you insinuating the fact that we shouldn't be able to do this? More and more mayors with other denominations who hate America are creating policies. And
so what a lot of people don't understand, or they're not aware of, is that a lot of modern, I'm going to say thriving Muslim countries, primarily Saudi Arabia is what I'm talking about, because that's really like the nexus, that's the nucleus, are low-key behind the scenes, easing up on the Sharia. That's why they're importing Western talent, Western culture, Western money, because they need to diversify off of oil. It's rumored that a lot of these leaders are not even practicing Muslims, but have to have the image of it to make sure that the people have bread and circus, so they all get along. Same with Dubai and UAE. 100p. You think the sheiks aren't participating in less than holy activities, hitting them with the porta potties and the poop trucks?
we have certain cities in America that the police department...
These countries are grifting off of the image of being Muslim. That's right. That's right. And where does this stem from? The lack of education, the fear of death, because, like I said, apostasy is punishable by death. You can't leave the religion. I'm blessed because I've had my ups and downs with my faith. And I think that that's honestly made it stronger. It's enhanced my relationship with God. Bro would leave the flock to go find the wandering sheep. I mean, these stories, this didactic fiction, these metaphors are timeless. You can't even compare the Bible and the Quran. Don't even get me started on the foundation of the religion. One is a man who is a conqueror and a killer. The other is a carpenter who never shed any blood but his own.
Has the language written in Arabic. This is America. What are you talking about? This is America is what we're talking about. No, we should do it. We should do it. It's okay. We should do it. We got folks who work...
That's right. Sharia law is bad for business. The West has some leverage and bargaining chips where they're like, you want our money? Maybe chill out on the human rights violations. Maybe.
For the government in certain areas of Dearborn and Michigan that are saying, I hope one day you get kicked out of the city and I will celebrate and put a parade together so you can never come back here again because your type doesn't belong here. Your type? He's an American. What do you mean your type? You hate America, go back to your country. Your type. Ilhan Omar talking all the stuff she's saying about Charlie Kirk.
I have nothing to apologize.
Dude, don't even get me started. This video is a perfect montage of everything that boils my blood on a daily basis over at kick.com/Philion. We're talking anti-West hatred, low IQ, hypocritical jabs, the cuckening of the average man who doesn't stand up for what he believes in.
It is a tragedy that Charlie Kirk was killed in that way. I feel for his widow and his children. They will have to live with that.
She wants to import Somalia
for the rest of their lives. But there is no legacy to honor. It was a legacy filled with bigotry, hate.
Don't look up her marriage certificates. You might get lost in the sauce.
Hatred and white supremacy.
He was not a hero. He was a bigot. A bigot? What are you, lady? Go back.
I'm tired of all this fuck-ass behavior.
To Somalia. You hear her videos talking about...
She married her brother.
To her country that one day my hopes is to go out and create some change because I want to come back to my homeland, which is Somalia. Go back already. Should we sit there and allow these people to create policies who absolutely hate America? I have a very big problem with that. If you run a company Your employees hate.
Yeah, this doesn't light a fire on my ass. It lights a fire in my ass. These people hate America. They hate the West. They hate Christians. Not everyone.
Your company, would you keep them? Or would you tell them, go find another company you love? I would tell them, go find another company you love. If you're dating somebody who hates you and your family, would you stay with her? Would you stay with them? Would you tolerate them? Why are we doing that in America? I don't know. But it's a fair question that many are asking me. They're connecting me saying, why are people not talking about this? You have a very valid point. We're going to. And hopefully that influences some of you guys talk about.
Sadly, there's enough retards in America that side with these shitheads. I don't know if it's like every adult man is just actually hypnotized by sports ball on the weekends. Or if they're just nihilistic and atheist, where nothing actually matters. They don't have a purpose or a meaning. I don't know. Maybe they're scared. If you talk to the average person, they don't even speak what's on their mind. They say what they're allowed to say.
This more as well. So if you're watching this, and again, you got some things in here that got your blood pressure a little bit higher, saying, you know what, I'm with them. I'm not okay with this. Share this with as many people as possible and ask them the questions. Do you agree with them? What do you think about what he has to say in this video? And let's see what people have to say about it. But I do think this is something that more of us need to be talking about. If you got value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you're wondering,
dude, I'm about to connect with Patrick Bet David, spend $48,000 for a 30-minute call just to be like, dude, great video.
And how interested I am and am in wanting to see if there's a way that we can coexist with Muslims and Christians. I did a religion roundtable. I brought 2 Muslims on this side, 2 Christians on this side, and we had a conversation. You watch this and you tell me if the Western ideology matches with some of the other ones and what the vision of...
I mean, they're completely antithetical. One is a theocracy ruled by Sharia law. The other is liberalism, progressivism, democracy, constitutional republic, secularism. I mean, that's why we have borders. It is the separation of values and traditions and ideas.
Both is. You be the judge of it. Live conversation with 2 folks from 2 opposite sides. It got heated. It was actually very revealing. And I respect the fact that all 4 of them agreed to do it. So if you've never seen it, click here to watch it. With that being said, take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.
Just got my blood pressure up. I'm gonna go run through a wall now. Nothing pisses me off more than hypocrisy. And when I sniff it out and see it with all 3 of my eyes, I'm like a bloodhound. I can't let it go. It's a violation of the very thing that I'm chasing, which is truth.